It's the game of the week. Brought to you by Quit Now Montana and My Life, My Quit. Pepsi, Mountain Dew, and Opportunity Bank.
We follow pizza drivers and make sure the customers get a Pepsi.
Is that legal?
It's a gray area.
That's the perfect combo.
Hey. Get off your... citrus. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Show off. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Mountain Dew.
Montana, a place of rugged beauty, hardworking people, and endless opportunities. And for over 100 years, Opportunity Bank has been here. As a Montana bank with a legacy of stability and service, we understand what it takes to build a future in this place you call home. So if you're looking for a bank that's as Montana as you are, come to Opportunity Bank of Montana. Of Montana, by Montanans since 1922. Member FDIC.
What I love about Rocky Mountain College would be the opportunities that are available for all of our kids, all of our students. And just recently, I was hired as the Director of Indian Education for Billings Public Schools. So community, to me, means we belong. Everyone belongs here. It could be every individual from any type of background. I think that's the biggest thing, is just that sense of belonging.
Yeah, applaud American, applaud Miss Michael, our national anthem.
Well, it's semifinal night here at Four Seasons Arena in Great Falls. This is the men's tournament. Montana Tech up against Rocky in the semis. Montana Tech, the number 1 seed, Rocky, the number 5 seed. Rocky got by Montana Western yesterday, 88-86. They put 5 players in double figures. And the Ore Diggers of Montana Tech this week are trying to accomplish something that has never been done in the history of the Frontier Conference, and that's win 4 Frontier Conference tournaments in a row. They claimed their 4th straight Frontier Conference regular season title, and the last school to do that, well, that was 52 years ago. And when MSU Billings was called Eastern Montana College from 1970 to 73. Now, Tech, the only team nationally ranked 21st, not that long ago. They were in the midst of a 4-game losing streak. They started the season 11-0. Now they've won their last 2 games. They face a team that's a 5th seed, but Rocky beat them twice during the season. Tech won once.
Yeah, and talking to Adam Hyatt yesterday, he was upbeat about those losses, felt that they were just, like he said, 1-possession games on the road that they lost, missing some very key guys. So they righted the ship. They won their last 2 games at home, and they earned the outright conference championship and the 1 seed overall.
This is going to be exciting. Whoever wins this game will play the winner of Providence and Carroll, and that game is coming up next. That game is scheduled to start at 9 o'clock this evening. The key players for Rocky Mountain College, well, Nesbitt had 18 points to lead his team last night, just so even in scoring. He had 5 players in double figures. Jesse Owens, the 5'9" senior, with 15 points in the game. Then they got Jalen Lee. Jalen Lee's had 16 double-doubles this year, 9 times. He's been the Frontier Conference Defensive Player of the week, and he had 16 points in the game last night. Royce Robinson from Lewistown with 16 points. And the big news today is that Braden Cook, the transfer from Carroll College, will play. A few weeks ago, he twisted his ankle, and he is good to go. And Camden Lawrence, well, he is out for the season. He was their leading scorer, and he injured his knee, and he is gone. And another Carroll transfer is Okeke, the 6'6 senior out of California. Maybe the most, there he is right there, number 5, maybe the most athletic player in the Frontier.
Absolutely, and I think that guy right there is the straw that stirs the drink, so to speak, for Tech. And if you pan the crowd, you're going to see a lot of maroon. That's because of the Fort Benton Longhorns. Challenge game between the games, between our women's games and our men's games, they earned a trip to the state tournament. Hayden's little brothers, they led the way, and they're going to state. So a lot of people stuck around, so a good contingent of fans for the Diggers and especially for Mr. Decons.
How about number 0 for Montana Tech? And there's Michael Urey. Levi Torgerson from Great Falls plays football and basketball. And Brian, you and I know that just is very, very rare.
It is rare, and I think that, he provides a good backup to Keeley Bay. Keeley is one of, seems like he's been in college forever. So, I think the big thing you'll see in how when Cook gets in, how he's able to move. He went through warm-ups. He looked really good from where I stand. But the last couple of games, they switched the lineup. They went with Carson Peffer, give him a little bit more size, and basically, didn't really lose a beat in those last 2 games.
Well, Montana Tech in the white uniforms and Rocky in the black. Jesse Owens inside the key. Swings it back out, and shot missed by Robinson. Jesse Owens played football with the Grizz, basketball with the Bobcats, and is going to wrap up his athletic career at Rocky. One great athlete. Okeke with a bit of a height advantage over Jesse. And Keeley Bay, Fairfield. And that's his 60th three-point field goal on the year. Wow.
The one thing by starting Peffer, that gives them a much, much bigger lineup than with Cook, and that's some matchup problems. You had to go with a double, and that led to a wide-open look from Bake.
Boy, McCoy had a good look. He had 15 in the game yesterday. Montana Tech made 206 threes on the season. Decons will set up the offense. And another 3. Oh, my. Keeley Bay hits 2 threes. He shoots 42% on threes.
He might shoot 80% in this building. I don't think I've ever seen him miss a 3. A couple years ago as a sophomore. Came in here and lit up Providence.
And first 2 points for Rocky, Jesse Owens. Okeke. Swings it around the Decons, and where's Bake? You just got to, when you make your first 2, you got to keep shooting.
Yeah.
Okeke from the line. Royce Robinson back the other way. Rocky down 4 early in this game. Royce takes it all the way down low to the baseline. They bring it back out. Nesbitt, no. Okeke on the rebound. Long lead. Decons goes 1 against 2. And Decons will draw the foul.
He's as athletic as there is, but the big thing that Tech does really well is they go defense to offense as well as anybody.
Billy Drykosen, his 24th season, 2009, Rocky won the NAIA National Championship. Decons shoots better from the field this year than he does from the free throw line. And when you're at the free throw line, nobody's guarding you.
Yeah. Defensively, though, is I think where he was Defensive Player of the Year last year for the Frontier Conference. And you'll see he'll guard a lot of different guys here, drawing Nesbitt.
Tech up 6. Short on the 3, McCoy. He shoots 58% on the season from the field. Carson, the sophomore. Urey, boy, that's a great pass. And Billy has to take a timeout. It's 10-2 early on here. Tech up. 17:37 left here in the first.
AMI is advanced metering infrastructure. We can talk to the meters can talk to us. So we're able to be very proactive in making sure that customers have reliable and stable power.
We actually are stopping outages from happening by looking at the data coming back from these meters.
That's the overall goal, is to provide our customers a safe and reliable solution that's cost effective, and this is the start of that.
For more than 85 years, D.A. Davidson has strived to build relationships and trust. From our first office in Montana to each of our 70 locations spread out coast to coast, we're on the ground and in your neighborhood, combining the values of a local partner with the capabilities of a national institution. We achieve strong outcomes based on mutual success, planning for future generations and building legacies that endure together.
Well, what a start for the 21st ranked team in the nation. The Orediggers come in 22-6 on the season. Just like the Rocky women, the Rocky men play well away from home. They're 11-5 outside of the Fortin Center on the campus of Rocky Mountain College this season. McCoy, he's wide open. And McCoy will drive against Okeke. Okeke's going to win the battle. And they got numbers on the break here. Okeke all the way. Piper will drive the baseline. He gives it up late. And Bake swings it around. We've played 3 minutes here. Okeke will drive. He can fly. Piper takes the big step inside. Got a good look. Got his rebound. Put back. Montana Tech owns this game early on. A 10-point lead. The Orediggers are 4 of 6 from the field early on in this game. 16.5 left to be played. January 4th in Billings, Rocky won 63-55. January 25th in Butte, Tech shot 56% and won 76-59. February 13th, Royce Robinson had 22 in Billings as Rocky won 75-69. That was during that 4-game losing streak that Montana Tech had late in the season. Looking down low to Uri. They swing it back out to Bank. Trying to get it to Okeke. What'd they say? It was kick?
They said it was kick.
Foul.
No, it was a kick. Billy Jacosin didn't see the same thing.
Actually, I think they called a foul on A.J. Wilson. How can Billy not get a T on that? Inbounds, they go to Bake. Bake. They take it down low to Uri. Uri will drive. Fakes right, comes back. Wow. What an athletic move. 14-2. Great start for the Orediggers. You win, you play in a championship game tomorrow night against either Providence or Carroll. Nesbitt in trouble. Royce Robinson with the 3. It's short. Rebound, Decons. Long lead, Okeke. Broken up by Royce Robinson and no foul. Nice defensive play.
Great defensive play, but unbelievable transition. Rebound from Decon's, eyes up. Looking down the floor, finds Okeke. You know, I think the biggest thing so far were those 2 threes from Bake early on. When they were on that losing streak, they shot 20% from 3. It gives them a little bit of confidence, but the other thing it does is it opens up the defense.
Decons, 16-2.
And that's his strength. His strength is he has amazing second moves. He gets to the rim, body control.
Rockies 1 of 7 from the field early on in this game. And Lee tries to make something. That's going to be an offensive charge.
You can sense the frustration starting to build with Rocky, and that's basically what that play was. He just said, I'm going to go to the rim. Uri in perfect condition, takes it right in the chest. A little extension. That's an easy call right in front of Craig Sear.
15-14 left in the first half. It's 16-2. Diggers are out on top. I'd like to thank our Frontier Conference sponsors for their corporate support. They include Logan Health, Cooper Tire, Tire-Rama, D.A. Davidson, Hotels, McDonald's, Northwestern Energy, Pepsi, and First Interstate Bank. We're looking at the Montana Tech huddle. The last 4 years, they've won 105 games. They've lost 23. Last year, they were 27-5, and in 22-23, 29-5, they made it to the quarterfinals. 21-22, they were 27-7 and 22-6 this season. Coach Adam Hyatt, the quickest in school history to 150 wins, now has 245, and he knew how to play the game. The all-time leading scorer at Westminster, 2,270 points, and Brian, that was before COVID, playing 5 years.
Yeah.
That was 4 years.
It's just, I think the hallmark of his team is just like that last play. There's the toughness, the stick-to-itiveness. They never quit playing. You know, I've watched their practices. They've had a couple of open gyms at CMR. To me, it's just amazing how hard they go. Like they're in a pregame practice, and they're full-on 5-on-5 officials just going at each other. It's not a walkthrough like a normal team might run.
Bake, decons. OKK. Lee will pick him up. OKK tries to get to the hoop. I don't know how you defend that.
No, and Lee wanted a big body. They actually got a switch and had a mismatch on the backside with Jesse Owens trying to guard Ure, but didn't need it.
Remember, Lee's the 9-time Frontier Conference Defensive Player of the Week winner. He gets OKK off balance. That ball almost stopped on the back of the rim. 18-2 Tech. And they force it on the inside. And it's going to be Tech on the inbounds. Boy, how do you overcome a start like this?
Well, I think you break it down in segments. You know, we're past the first media. You try to get to the next media where you maybe can cut it from 16 to 10. And you just have to look at each of these little segments as their own game.
That's very well said.
Well,
You're good at this.
Well, I was down a lot, so we had a good chance to figure out to have that pep talk. A lot of times playing Billings West and teams like that.
OKK's only hit 4 threes, and they're going to leave him open on the 3. Decons with the offensive rebound. This is unbelievable.
Again, I think he got a little fired up watching his little brothers make it to the state tournament, but he's come out and possessed and going to the rim.
20-2, our score. Looked like Lee walked. That's going to go. And finally, Rockies got their second field goal of this game. Bake, OKK. And in the game for the first time is Braden Cook since he hurt his ankle. Transfer from Carroll College. Decons also into the game is Rhett Reynolds. Another Montana kid from Shelby. Shot clock down to 1. Decons didn't get it to go, but he did draw the foul.
Good drive. Wilson just a little bit late, comes in once he's left the ground. Block. 9 times out of 10, sometimes they get that call wrong, but that one definitely was correct.
Decons with 6 points in the game. 16-point lead for the Orediggers. They come in 22-6. They went 10-5 in the Frontier, claiming their 4th straight Frontier Conference regular season title. They've had 4 seasons in a row with 20 wins or more, and they went undefeated this season at home at 15-0. Boy, Rocky needs to splash some threes and try to make a run. Nesbitt, he had a huge game yesterday, 16 in the quarterfinals. And that was good against good defense.
Yeah, and I would say that you can probably tell who the best player on the floor is based on who Hayden Decons is guarding.
Slapped out, taken away. And Cade Erickson in the game for the first time. your sister Isabel, starts for Carroll College. And we got a timeout. 13:05 left, 15-point lead for the Diggers.
There's something different here, in the air and in the attitude. It's the tight-knit community, complemented by bigger thinking and even bigger innovation. It's high-tech labs with sweeping Rocky Mountain views. It's a place where research, innovation, and ideas are matched by an understanding of why it all matters in the first place. Here at Montana Tech, you can realize your potential, fuel your passion, and find your path. Join us.
Montana, a place of rugged beauty, hardworking people, and endless opportunities. And for over 100 years, Opportunity Bank has been here. As a Montana bank with a legacy of stability and service, we understand what it takes to build a future in this place you call home. So if you're looking for a bank that's as Montana as you are, come to Opportunity Bank of Montana. Of Montana, by Montanans since 1922. Member FDIC.
Montana Tech comes in averaging 78 points a game, giving up 62. A margin of victory of 16 on the season. Rocky averaging 79 points a game. They shot 53% in round one, and that's, well, not the same here in the semis. OKK. Cook. His first shot back. Boy, what a big steal. Take away Rhett Reynolds. That is a huge play. Wow.
Good to see that from Rhett. Kind of times has struggled a little bit this year.
Lee with the rebound. They're going to double up on Lee. Spencer to Lee. Lee goes up strong, draws the foul. That's only the second foul of the game on Tech. 12 minutes and 10 seconds left to be played in the first half of our first semifinal game.
And this
23-6.
He tried.
He worked so hard trying to get open.
Yeah, and I think it's a tough play for Akike because Kike is in good position, really just standing there watching the play, and he pivots back into him. Have to kind of call that one.
Lee's had an outstanding season for Rocky. 16 double-double games. Leads the team in rebounding, field goal percentage. He started every game this season. Billy's trying things different. I mean, Erickson did not play in the game yesterday. And trying to mix things up a little, get McCoy with the rebound, but right into the hands of Tech. Rhett Reynolds, after that huge dunk moments ago. Levi Torgerson, the football, basketball, dual sport athlete at Tech. Bake, that's a two-point attempt. And Cade Erickson on the rebound. How bad has it been for Rocky? They're 3 of 12 from the field. They're 0 of 5 on three-point shots in this game. Jordan comes in. He was the spark plug yesterday.
Yeah, Jordan
in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, he probably the thing is what he's really good at. Like yesterday, did a good job of guarding the Stepman in here against Tech. There's not one guy you got to worry about. I mean, right now there's 4 or 5 guys you have to worry about. But I think the biggest thing is like defensively. This lineup that's on the floor right now with Ire is definitely their best defensive lineup, but they're pretty dang good all the way around.
Jesse, Lee, they double up on Lee. Jordan's open with the 3, 0 for 6 on threes. McCoy with an offensive rebound. Boy, Rocky struggling offensively here in the semifinals. 11 minutes left to be played in the first half. They double up on Lee. Somebody's got to be open. Spencer downloaded Jordan. That's a great look to McCoy.
Yeah, and that was good patience. And the scramble drill came into play there where basically you're trying to find guys. And Jordan just patient, knew there was one guy unchecked, found him underneath the basket for an easy look. Could have easily taken a tough shot and probably would have, not got that good of an opportunity and missed it.
Decons to Levi. Piper with a three-point shot. It's in. 26-9. What an incredible start for the Orediggers.
In those 2 losses, he didn't start. When they lost Cook, the 4 losses, 2 of those they didn't have Cook, and he didn't start. And then the last 2, when Cook didn't start, he started Peffer, and that's been a huge advantage for them because, I think it just gives them a different dynamic. They're a little bit bigger. They're a little bit more athletic.
Jesse will get set on the inbounds here. 10:06 left to be played in the first 20 minutes of basketball. Semifinals 2025 Frontier Conference Tournament from Four Seasons Arena in Great Falls. Spencer gets the baseline, and Spencer's foul. That's going to be 3 on the Diggers, 3 on Rocky. I don't know if Tech can play any better.
No, on both sides of the ball, frankly. And, one of the things, just a little bit out of position.
Jesse gets it out to Lee. The midway mark of this first half. That's huge for Spencer. 26-12. Tech. Under 10 to go. Levi Torgerson will bring it up. Hometown boy here in Great Falls. Yuri works against Lee. Gets Lee off balance, and Yuri to the free throw line for 2 free throws.
Very savvy by the senior. Just goes, shot fake, simple basketball, gets Lee in the air, and I have to call that one. That's the second one on Lee. Just under 10 minutes to go. I mean, they're going to have to sit with him for a little bit.
9.5 to go. Billy Drykosen, 385 wins. Yuri gets a free throw to go. I think if Billy would have wore his plaid pants, it may have been good luck.
I think they still fit him.
I thought he wore them the other day.
You talked about him. I don't know.
Adam Hyatt for Tech. Well, he's a great interview, isn't he?
Great interview, great coach. And one of little thing, Peffer, he gives up 2 or 3 offensive rebounds by not boxing out. Hits a 3, doesn't matter. He's coming out.
Off balance shot.
That's one of the hallmarks of a good coach. There's a standard for Montana Tech, and if you have to follow it.
Decons goes up. Unbelievable. Montana Tech is shooting almost 70% from the field in this game. They lead by 17. Jesse Owens turns and fires. And Tech controlling the boards. They're controlling both ends of this game. Palanas with it up on top. Takes a pick from Yuri. Levi Torgerson. Decons, what a block by McCoy. A 17-point lead. Nesbitt, he wanted that one all the way down. He was looking to pop a 3.
Yeah, just got lost. Decon's a little late finding him transitionally. But, you talk about different lineups that Rocky has gone with. It's kind of right now, I think you're trying to figure out what you can do best. It's like your best offensive alignment is probably this one, but it's not very good defensively, so what do you do?
A.J. Wilson with a foul. Rocky would need to hit 5 more threes in a row to take the lead here. Michael Yuri at the free throw line from Idaho Falls. Seems like he's been with the program for a while.
Yeah, and that's one thing, talking with Coach Hyatt last night, that he's very proud of is the fact that they've gotten old and stayed old. In other words, they recruit guys, they develop them. They don't have to dip into the portal as much as some other programs. And that kind of helps build that continuity year after year that makes you pretty, it helps when you're trying to maintain a certain standard, and that's probably why they've won 4 in a row.
Yuri gets them both to go. It's so hard to win 1 regular season Frontier Conference title, but to win 4, something hasn't been done in 52 years. Now They're attempting to win 4 straight tournament championships, and that's never been done before. Jesse Owens, AJ, Tech up 16. Great defense. Keely Blake, jump ball, arrow to Tech. Wow.
And you just see a little too much one-on-one, a little too much. I got to get something going, and last night, perfect, really good team basketball up and down, using ball screens, things like that. But tonight, the defensive effort from Tech has just completely taken them out of their rhythm.
Bake, Yuri, Royce trying to stay with him, but boy, when you rise that high, it becomes impossible.
Well, and that's a part of his game that he hasn't had the last 3 years. He's been a back to the basket, deep in the post, expanded it to shooting threes, but not only that, he's, like that. That's basically a pull-up jumper, contested.
Tech, 12 of 18, 67% from the field. Rockies, 6 of 19, 31%. Offensive foul. 7:12 left, first half. Boy, do I got a great guest at halftime. Rob Tesh, he's the head of the officials in the Frontier Conference. He was an All-American wide receiver at Montana State. And I'm not sure if he played in the NFL or not.
He's I don't have a lot of favorite officials. He's one that I never mind seeing come out of the tunnel. The guy in the baseline, too, Craig Sears, a longtime official in Montana. I really enjoyed having him. He's a guy that'll listen to you. You don't put up with a lot, but he'll listen to what you have to say, and you appreciate that as a coach.
Lee with the offensive boards, Jesse with the 3. Boy, Jesse has improved so much on his threes.
Yeah.
He's over 50 on the season, and he's shooting 37%. Cut the lead to 15 here. 6.5 to go in the first half of this semifinal game in the Frontier Conference Tournament. Heifer goes one-on-one with Jesse. And how does somebody that short play defense? Well, he's an athlete. OKK can't get the reverse layup. Wanted the foul. Royce Robinson, Lewistown leads the break. Paul Panesco helping me out here. Deep 3. Jesse has hit another one.
Well, Paul Panisco.
Well, we got a 12-point game.
Yeah, well, worried about pronunciations and we can get a couple of defensive lapses. But, the thing with Jesse is, I had this conversation with some coaches, he's the most important player on the floor. He may not be the best one, but he is definitely the most important player on the floor for them. So.
Our scoreboard sponsor, Opportunity Bank of Montana, Montana-born, full-service community bank with locations throughout the state, offering a range of banking, lending, mortgage, and agriculture banking services for over 100 years. They've been a Montana community financial institution committed to providing strong financial futures for Montanans. Opportunity Bank, member FDIC. We'd like to thank our network affiliates, SWX in Billings, Bozeman, Butte, Great Falls, Helena, Kalispell, Missoula, Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, the Tri-Cities, Yakima, and the University of Providence Stream and the Frontier Conference Stream as well. Paul Panesco and I used to call the Shrine football game, and we had so much fun the night before at the banquet. And what we would do is I would introduce the East team, and Paul would introduce the West team, and we would use music, and we'd get into it. We'd get that crowd loud. It was fun.
I'd like to know who his favorite sidekick was, you or John Thatcher. Who had the better stories, I'm sure.
John Thatcher.
Yeah, well, that's maybe ones that we can tell on the radio but or TV. So, no, Butte's a great town and a great community, and, there's definitely that aura of toughness, and frankly, this Tech team just absolutely, fits right into that beautifully. Well,
all of a sudden, after 2 back-to-back threes by Jesse Owens, we've got a 12 9-point game here. And Braden Cook back in the game. Slapped out by Jesse. It's going to be Tech basketball.
Yeah, I'm thinking if he's having mini breaks the rest of the game, they're very, very short. I think he has to be on the floor if they're going to have a chance to win.
Okeke, been quiet so far. Wow.
You know, he's kind of a matchup nightmare. We talk about what a great dunker he is, but just the fact that his ability like that to travel so much ground with one dribble.
I don't think anybody can sky as high as Okeke.
No.
Nesbitt, boy, he's going to pop a long three. Tipped around, Okeke on the rebound. 5:05 left to be played.
Ooh.
They fight for the rebound, right back up and in.
Peffer's impressive so far, just a different type of body, you know.
You know, every aspect of this game, rebounding, field goal percentage, free throw percentage, everything leans toward Tech.
Yeah, and boy, they had another turnover there, but they could foul on your, just basically a little grabby with the bigger Lee.
Jesse on the inbounds here. And that's going to go out of bounds. Tech will have it with 4:52 left to be played here in the first. We're going to timeout by Billy. The lead is 16 for the Orediggers, and Rocky won twice during the season. And what does that mean? Absolutely nothing in the Frontier Conference. You know, when Carroll and Providence played earlier today, that was the 9th time those two teams have met the last 2 years. 4 times this year and 5 times last year.
Yeah, I talked to Bill Himmelberg after the game, and it's exactly what he said.
Our Game of the Week sponsors, Quit Now Montana, My Life, My Quit, Opportunity Bank, Pepsi, and Mountain Dew. Under 5 minutes left to be played here in the first half. Tech has just been on fire since the opening tip-off. They led 20-2, 26-9. They're shooting 64%. Rocky 8 of 23, 35%. Well, you know, you come to play in the Frontier Conference Tournament. This is what you want out of your team, especially right out of the gate. Rocky's coming off a win. Tech's coming off a bye.
Yeah, and that probably explains why, you know, Adam Hyatt's philosophy on practice. They treat it like a game, so they're not coming in rusty.
Okeke got the offensive rebound. And Cook couldn't get the three. Nesbitt gets by Okeke. He had to go high off the glass to avoid the block. I mean, he went way high.
You know, that's one thing with Rhett Reynolds, his length, you know, 6'9", but his arm span near to 7 feet long. And playing with a lot of confidence right now, you know, their depth is just, so far, I would say, is a huge difference. You know, they have some guys with 2 fouls. The way they're playing, they can sit and not have to worry about it.
Another three, the sophomore from California. That is their 5th three of the game.
A 6'7" stretch 4 that can play a couple different positions, you know, that's, you know, he's basically kind of a hybrid 3-4.
We're looking to play defense. I mean, it's the reason why Rocky is shooting so poorly. He scored 21 points here in the first half. Not that Rocky's playing that bad. I mean, Tech's defense is outstanding. Lee got it stripped away. Shot clock violation, but then the foul, and is that going to go against Lee?
Yeah, it's going to go against Lee, and they're probably going to have to look at it. If we look at it here, goes up, loses it.
Oh. Well, right over the top of Okeke, and let's see if the officials will go take a look at the monitor.
They're going to have to take a look at the monitor, and, you know, again, it's a little bit more to the fact of, like, they're looking.
Over there, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to look for an upgrade to a flagrant 1, but you know, my understanding of the rule is that when you go above the face and it's good physical, not a basketball play is usually the thing. And I don't know if maybe that little extra thing there is going to be pretty. Didn't take him very long to take a look at that and have an opinion. So, be curious what they come up with.
Now they're going to take a look at it again.
Well,
Right.
you know, one of them, all three of them have to have a look. So,
We had 5 reviews in one of the women's games yesterday. So now, if that would have been a flagrant, they would have come back and told us, or what do you think?
I think they're going to talk about it. They're going to come to a decision. Get the cameras on.
They
them for a few
always
minutes.
tell you first before they tell the official score.
Yeah, well,
we're going to talk to Rob Tesh about that at halftime. You know, what is a flagrant one?
yeah, and you know, in the college game's so much different than college and the NBA is how they you know regulate and dictate these calls.
We have a flagrant 1 foul on 23 from Rocky. We're going to shoot 2 shots to number 5,
okay.
And then Rocky will tackle, get the ball down the end.
Okay. All right. If you heard that, a flagrant 1 on 23, big
That's
story.
three.
That's his third. It's going to be 2 free throws. 2 free throws for Montana Tech.
And the ball.
And the ball. Point of interruption. So.
Well, the key big man for Rocky Lee with the flagrant, that's his 3rd foul. And there's a lot of basketball left to be played here.
You know, in letter of the law, that's the right call. You know, I think it's tough too, especially when you start looking at things like it's to call it a flagrant, to call it when it's a 3rd foul becomes a huge issue as this game goes forward. And what was a few minutes ago
12-point game.
Yeah, now is back up to a 21-point game. So with the ball under 4 minutes, tons of momentum.
And we're not going to see Lee again the first half.
No, you're not going to see Lee again. And the other thing is you probably won't see you're not going to see decons. You don't have to see those guys because you're basically, you know, nursing a nice lead with not have to worry about a guy picking up his 3rd foul.
Fake. Cook, great to see Andrew Cook back in the lineup. Jesse almost had it. Great save by Bake. Blocked. Royce Robinson from Fergus County High School in Glasgow. Played in a football and a basketball state championship team. Royce to the hole. Yes. Started his college athletic career at Montana State and then transferred to Rocky. And how many times do we see that?
Yeah, it actually committed originally to Carroll.
Right.
He committed because he had an opportunity to go play for the Cats, which I think anyone would want to take, especially when Danny Sprinkle was coaching. And then ended up in Billings. Talking to his high school coach, Scott Sparks, wow. That was impressive. Scott was saying just with Royce, he's a winner, and you can see that.
OKK with the basket. He's got 9 points in the game. Kane Erickson's back in the lineup. Jesse for his 3rd 3 of the first half for Jesse Owens.
Yeah, and without him, I mean, talk about the women's game today with Providence and Carroll. Without Willa Albrecht, Carroll has no chance, and I think same with Rocky right here. Jesse's definitely keeping him in the game.
He's hit 3 threes. He leads his team with 11. That leads everybody in this game so far. OKK scored last trip down. Cook. And right with 2 seconds left on the shot clock, Rhett Reynolds. Boy, he's had some great minutes, hasn't he?
He has, and that's you're good to hear that.
Royce Robinson gets it tied up. Arrow to Rocky. 91 seconds left to be played here in the first half. A 20-point lead for the Diggers. This is the semifinals. Whoever wins this game will play the winner of Carroll College and Providence in the championship, and that's coming up tomorrow. A 9 o'clock start for that Carroll Providence game. I'm afraid Brian might fall asleep on me.
They stocked the Mountain Dew up in the hospitality room, so I think we'll be able to manage.
Well, don't tell my wife, but grab me one. Spencer takes it down low, gets it slapped out.
Yeah, they're just a little out of sync. You know, one of the things that it was always impressive to me about someone like Jesse is how he never gets sped up. He doesn't play too fast, but his teammates can't say the same. I feel like Tech has definitely sped them up. They're not making the same good decisions.
Levi Torgerson, Bake, and yours back in the game. Player down, no whistle. It is a physical game. 22-point lead. Their biggest lead of the game was 23. 45 seconds left to be played in the first 20 minutes of this one. Jordan working hard to get open, dribbled out of bounds. Just, boy, if Adam Hyatt wrote up how he wanted the first half to go, I mean, could he have pictured anything better than this?
No, just defensively, I mean, yeah, a month ago you would have thought the sky was falling in Butte because Montana Tech had dropped 4 in a row and nothing was going their way. They couldn't get out of the 60s when they were, they were giving up way too many points. Just everything was just wrong. But the thing that was impressive is that Coach Hyatt sounds like never panicked. I mean, he's like, hey, we're fine. We're a couple of possessions away from being 4-0 on a tough road trip. Instead, they went 0-4.
20 seconds to go, 8 on the shot clock. Bate, he hit 2 threes to start the game, and that just started a great run for Tech. 6 seconds left to be played here in the first half. Royce Robinson not going to give it up. It's halftime here in Great Falls. The lead is 22. Tech out 48-26 at the break.
Are you ready to unleash your awesome? Then you need 8 gig all-fiber internet from TDS. You'll have the powerful internet you need to stream, game, learn, and work today, and be prepared to take on anything new you can dream up tomorrow. Imagine internet you'll never outgrow. Get 8 gig all-fiber internet from TDS and embrace infinite possibility.
When you get to McDonald's and see there's a line, but you're not waiting in it because you ordered ahead in the app and chose curbside before you got here.
Here you go. Thank you. Get up, now dance if you want to.
Order ahead in the app to save time. Did you see that? Yep. Looks like rain. Also looks like McDelivery. Order McDelivery in the app.
Well, the Diggers of Montana Tech shoot 60% in the first half, joined by Rob Tesh, the world's greatest basketball official. Rob, great to have you here as our halftime guest.
My pleasure.
Score, Tech up by 22 points, 48-26. Now, what is your official title in the Frontier Conference? Head of the officials?
No, I'm actually a parent and I'm a fan of the entire Frontier Conference. I watched every one of Tech's games, and I think the product that the Frontier Conference puts out, the men's and the women's from top to bottom, your 1 through your 6 on both men's and women's is just the level of play and the intensity every night is unbelievable. And then the fact that they play each other 3 times.
I know, 4 times, 5 times.
Yeah, four times, in the tournament. But it's a war, and now, it's crazy. It's fun to watch.
We had a flagrant fall earlier. Tell us, what is a flagrant fall? What is a flagrant one? How does that all work?
Well, basically, the F1 has replaced the intentional foul. So there is no intentional foul. They don't want officials refereeing intent, obviously. So they made it as black and white as they could. Basically, any contact above the shoulders with movement sideways or with aggression is a flagrant 1, and it can be elevated to a flagrant 2, which is an ejection. So they made it black and white for the officials. I mean, a lot of times the officials will go to the monitor and look at it and they'll be like, but it's black and white. If there's contact above the shoulders, it's automatic. They don't have a choice.
Tell us, how are the officials chosen for the Frontier Conference regular season and this tournament?
Well, we have head of officials, Matt Shute, who took over for Mike Fisher, and he basically assigns them, and it's assigned, and he evaluates, he rates, he has evaluators in gyms throughout the season, and he just the body of work of officials, he looks at them and he tries to put the best officials out there. And the rationale of not having coaches votes, because a few years ago the coaches used to vote, and
at the college level,
at the Frontier level for sure. And we proposed to them, like, hey, let's take that out of your hands, and they were unanimous about it. They said absolutely. Mike Fisher at the time assigned the regular season, and they just said, well, you assign the tournament, which is nice because it allows the Frontier Conference to get more officials involved instead of just the same 6. Because usually the coaches will vote for, their top, who they think the top 5 or 6 officials are, and those guys do the tournament every year, which is nice, but it's also nice to have the whole body of work working on their craft and getting better and getting that, carrot dangled, like, hey, I'm going to work postseason.
Now, this has been such a physical tournament, and the Frontier Conference is very physical the last 2 days. Tell me how, it's a fall on one end and might not be a fall on the other end, or, even a charge. I mean, those are tough calls to make.
Oh, yeah, the block charge is the toughest call in basketball, period. You can take a block charge and you can send it out to 100 officials, you can send it out to 100 coaches, and it's going to be 50-50 every time. There's a bunch of criteria that go into it. You have the arc, you have legal guarding position, and with these athletes, as strong and as fast as they are, it's tough. It's tough, and that's what gets coaches sideways, is the inconsistency, but it's tough. And we basically have one official that is regulated to watch that area in one particular time, and how he viewed it. We have a different official at the other end watching the same thing at the other end. You run into inconsistency, but the biggest thing is the athleticism that we have to officiate. That's what makes it hard.
Visiting with Rob Tesh, one of the top officials in the state. Rob, it's different at the high school level than the college level. At the college level, when do you tee up a coach? When do you tee up a player?
Oh, Rocky, you're going to put me in this spot, aren't you?
Come on,
I knew
help
you were
us
going to
out.
do this to me. Well, I think ultimately it comes down to respect. I understand, and I believe the majority of the officials understand. You're not going to agree with what I saw. The angles, the positioning, the athleticism, everything that we train ourselves to officiate, which is the defense. Most fans, most commentators, most coaches,
I'm guilty. Offense.
They watch the offense. And so I challenge people, the next time you have a couple minutes, just watch the defense. It's a different game. And, of course, that's what we're watching, the legality of the defender, and that makes it hard. And so I understand when coaches get a little fired up, but as long as they disagree respectfully, that's usually the line.
Now, Rob is not refereeing at the Frontier Conference level. His son, Lane Love, plays for Montana Tech. You still do a lot of high school games. Tell us how high school referees are chosen for postseason.
They're chosen by the coaches.
Do you get a state tournament every year?
I do get a state tournament every year.
Probably more than one?
Yes, I get offered a couple state tournaments every year, yes.
Then how do you pick which one you're going to go to?
Well, before it was easy because when Lane was playing, I chose the women's side so that I could go watch him play and then referee on the women's side. It's just the AA level, quote unquote, the higher level of basketball. I think it's an easier game to officiate. They just play basketball. You got 5 individuals that can actually play basketball. You know, you don't run into scrubs coming in, things like that. But ultimately, you know, I've reffed. The only state tournament I haven't reffed is the C. I'd love to do that someday, but I've reffed the B at a very high level. I love that tournament. I've reffed the state A at a high level. That's a great tournament. You can ask my wife. It's a tough decision every year for me which tournament I want, you know. I know there's some coaches out there that say, man, I vote for you every year, and why don't you take this tournament? It's just been the AA. What's nice is we're limited to how many state tournaments we can do, so you can only do that particular tournament 2 years in a row, and then you got to take a year off.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So this year I took the AA boys. This is my last year in the AA boys, so it'll allow me to get a state tournament somewhere else. Hopefully, as long as the coaches, as long as they vote for me, that's the key.
But think about how impressive that is. I mean, to be asked to, you know, almost every year to officiate more than one state tournament. Rob, did you ever think about, you know, going on, making this full-time profession? You know, you introduced me to somebody in a coffee shop last year from Montana who's an NBA rep. Who was that?
Brett Dancel. Yep, he's an NBA ref. He lives in Bozeman. He started out in Miles City. He chased the dream, knew he had to get out of the state of Montana to accomplish that dream, and he did. He's done very well. I'm not sure how many games he works in the NBA now, but I know it's a good number. High level. A lot of officials from Montana have moved outside the state just to get more exposure.
Is it a full-time job at the major college level?
Absolutely. Well, no, it's not. I mean, it's a full-time job for 4.5 months, but it's every night. You're on the road, you're gone for 4.5 months, and then after that, then you're home. And the amount of money that is at that NCAA level and the NBA level, it's a pretty good chunk of change. It really is. Well, it's worth chasing, but you know, you have to have the exposure. You have to have earplugs. You know, you got to have the right demeanor. And yeah, did I try it? Absolutely, I wanted to. It just wasn't for me. The travel was crazy. The amount of time gone was crazy. But you know, it is what it is.
There's a lot of great officials in Montana, but none better than my friend Rob Tesh. It's halftime, 22-point lead, Tech. We'll have some highlights right after this.
Montana has one of the highest suicide rates in the United States.
Suicide impacts people of all ages, genders, and ethnicities.
On average, 300 Montanans die each year by suicide.
Our best chance of stopping suicide is to stop the stigma.
It's time to talk openly and honestly about mental health issues.
Together, let's take the pledge to be allies against suicide.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
I was attracted to the biology program here at Western, mainly because of the block program. I like the Experience One program, first off because of the small class sizes. I'm able to get to know my classmates really well, and second off because of the professors, getting to know them. And it allows you to be more than just a student in the class. They care about you and they care about what you're doing. After attending Western, I plan to go to the University of Washington School of Medicine, the WWAMI program, and practice rural medicine throughout Montana.
I'm living for my people. I'm dancing for my people. A lot of our kids and a lot of our people do vape and smoke. Especially around here on the res, there's a lot of that negativity. It's really pressured from the things that come from around us. It's very dangerous to your body, and not only to your body, but to yourself and the people around you. Kids are easily influenced by the things that they grow up and they see. And when an adult is doing something like that, they see it as an okay key to go and do it.
How many sportscasters interview the officials at halftime?
He's a good one to talk to. I mean, definitely a perspective. I was thinking about it when you were talking to him. We had a game a couple years ago. It was one of my last years. A rule that I had never heard of, and he tried to explain it to me for 10 minutes during the game. Still don't understand it. I assume he's right because he was very convincing, but, you know, just one of those things.
Let's go to the Mountain Dew do-over. In the first half, it's pretty much been all ore diggers in this contest, offensively and defensively.
Yeah, their defensive effort, and that guy, led by that guy, Hayden Decons, you know, everything was tough like that. That was a tough contested shot. Yeah, but then offensively, just matchup nightmare after matchup nightmare. But, you know, Rocky, they played hard. I mean, they tried, but, I mean, when you're guarding the way that Tech is guarding, you're going to have a difficult time. You know, these are probably the few highlights that Rocky actually had during the first half.
And Jesse Owens, he had a couple of big threes. He had 2 in a row when they were down by 20, and that cut the lead. They got as close as 12 at one point. OKK, the most athletic player in the conference, and Tech. I mean, when you shoot 60% in the Frontier Conference in the first half, Rocky shot just 36%. We got to take one more break. We'll come back with the second half of this semifinal game in the Frontier Conference tournament.
There are 2 types of people in this world. Those who love Taco John's and those who haven't tried us yet. We're a destination for excitement, where your wildest cravings and our wildest creations meet in crispy, melty, zesty harmony. Sirloin steak, homemade pico de gallo, and our taco shells are fried fresh every day. At Taco John's, every visit is a chance to go bigger, live bolder, and eat better. And once you get a taste, there's no going back. A bolder option is here. Taco John's.
Scrap metal for cash? Come visit us at Central Montana's leader in recycling, steel, etc. in Great Falls. Our center processes steel, stainless steel, aluminum, copper, brass, and lead. And we pay cash for scrap based on weight. We also accept batteries, electric motors, paper, cardboard, and more. And our roll-off containers are available for any scrap projects you have. We even buy and recycle junk cars. Trade your scrap for cash. Visit us at steeletc.com or call us at 761-4848.
We didn't like Keely Blake taking the inbound, so we asked for OKK to do the honors, and that's why we got started a little late here. Down low, Piper, Lee. You know, how tentative is Lee going to play defensively with 3 fouls?
I would say very, and you know what, I think they found the matchup they wanted right away, and they're like, hey, we're going to go right there. It doesn't matter who it is, whoever he's guarding, we're going there.
Boy, if they lost Lee, the bigs could really take over for Tech. And Royce Robinson with a great move to the basket, the 6'5" freshman from Fergus County High School in Lewistown.
You know, and he's going to continue to play hard. I think the one thing with this lineup that Tech starts with that basically forces the hand of Billy Dracosian and Rocky to basically have to kind of match up to them, and it's either their best offensive lineup, which isn't very good defensively, or their best defensive lineup, which isn't very good offensively.
Full court pressure put on by Rocky, trying to make something happen defensively. Keely Blake quickly brings it down. 48-26 at the break. Diggers, they were up 20-2 to start this game. Jurgens is stripped away by Royce. Royce is going to get the foul. I mean, it's not impossible for Rocky to come back, but they're going to have to play almost perfect basketball.
Yeah, and you know, like we talked to the top of the game when they fell down early, you have to look at it in segments. And they had that little run there where they cut it to 12. I think right now you have to look at the media timeout comes about 14. If you can get this one maybe about 12, that would be your ideal number.
Lee pulls it down. Jesse's had another nice game. Jesse Owens leads his team with 11 points in this one. Trying to get it down low to Lee. Forced it. OKK brings it back out. Under 19 minutes. We've played a minute here of the second half. You win, you would advance to the Frontier Conference Championship game year. They're going to double team him. He still gets the shot off, and he still scores.
Yeah, and that's the problem that Rocky has. I mean, they have to almost have this lineup, but how do they match up player by player to Tech?
Jesse Owens, picked up by OKK. The defense from Tech is probably more impressive than their offense.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's just they run, they communicate, they know exactly where they're supposed to be.
You know, that could have went either way. I mean, Lee was leaning in.
Yeah, and pulled the chair off from under him. I think it's the grab when he went for the ball. If he just would have kept going backwards, you know, he's out of position. I think right there, that last the last grab at the top is what cost him the foul.
Free throw line, Lee. Well, one way to come back when you're behind is to score when the clock is stopped. That means you got to make your free throws. But boy, that's a lot of free throws to be made.
Yeah.
Rocky won 2 of the 3 games during the season, and they open up the second half with a full court pressure. OKK will bring it up. The lead is 22. Keely Blake, number 2 in the conference in assists. Shooting 42% on threes this year. And Ura goes over the top of Royce. McCoy with the rebound. Boy, that is a nice looking shot by Nesbitt. He led his team with 18 in that quarterfinal victory. He's got 8 points in this game. 17:40 left, 19-point lead for the Diggers.
I try to, stand for something. I try to stand for positivity. I try to stand for health. I see the impact of vaping, amongst our communities as, a total negative thing. I would say to adults, set the example. Set the example. Learn to communicate, with the young people and your own children. And so we always share with the young people is that you got to find your own strength. You guys are role models. You guys are leaders, and that's what we need in our communities.
What is the power of a Northern degree? It is the power to teach and the power to heal. It is the power to feed and the power to fuel. It is the power to choose your career and the power to rise to the top. That is the power of a Northern degree, and that power is in your hands.
And if you're thinking this is the last game of the day, think again, the late game. Scheduled to tip off at 9 o'clock. Second-seeded Providence up against number 3, Carroll. Isaiah Crane put on a show yesterday in the quarterfinals, 11 of 16 from the field, 3 of 4 on threes. And he scored 25 points in that game. Carroll's now won their last 5, and they are the hottest team in the conference coming in. They've won 7 of their last 8 games. So whoever wins this game will play the winner of Providence-Carroll tomorrow night in the Frontier Conference Championship. And Tech trying to do something that's never been done before. Big, picked up by Jesse. OKK, probably not going to take the 3.
Robinson just, a little late with help, reaches in, probably doesn't need to. Just straight up, trying to get a deflection, trying to get something going the other way.
Decons, Bake, takes the pick from Ure. Inside OKK, and Royce Robinson comes over the top.
One thing that Tech does an amazing, I think, an unbelievable job of is they hunt the mismatch. They're patient. They get the switch and then they don't force it. They basically force you to make a late scramble like that. Royce having to come all the way across to have a chance to get a deflection on that.
Decons barely got it out in time. And Bake will set it up. Deep 3-point shot. Wow. Keely Blake putting on a show in this game. His third 3. Lead back to 22 now. Royce Robinson hits a 3 on the other end. You know, I'm always impressed, especially when you sit floor level, the athleticism, the speed, the quickness, and the strength of these Frontier Conference players. It's outstanding.
It is.
Great fake by Bake. Jesse. Boy, Rocky needs a huge run.
Bake, when he misses a shot in this building, he acts like he's surprised. I mean, I don't, he must love this. I don't know if they ever played a tournament game here when he was at Fairfield, but he doesn't miss.
Okay, long lead, 5 for the dunk, yes.
Just a great job of transition. Great late contest on that shot from Nesbitt, leads to a leak out and a great find from Okeke, and you know, that's the thing they've done such a good job of, is their defense has led to offense.
Royce off the glass and in, straight on for 3, and he didn't even look surprised that went in.
Well, and that was another great late closeout by Bake. You know, at least contested it.
Bake, great pass. Okeke, another dunk. And he hung on the rim a little longer than usual. He cramped up. And Okeke's got to go out.
You know, that's a problem that a lot of us have when we elevate so quickly and cramps happen. So that kid is a little more athletic than you or I would say.
That's why you don't dunk anymore, right?
I don't actually, and I don't jump at the rim after that video we saw yesterday with the official trying to really get the ball out of the back, stuck under the rim.
Royce Johnson, 3-pointer from the corner, no. And that foul is going to go against Rocky. McCoy with the foul.
The most impressive thing with Tech is that they don't give up offensive rebounds. You know, that it's the end of the possession's the end of the possession. And, you know, and that definitely gives you, it makes it a heck of a lot harder for Rocky. They have to be near perfect, down 20 with 15 minutes to go.
Here's back in the game, a 20-point lead under 15 minutes left to be played in this semifinal game. It's going to be Providence and Carroll in the next semifinal game. Travel is going to be called, and that basket is not going to count by Mashad. Boy, Tech has played a lot of players in this game.
Well, yeah, that's the advantage you have, you know, with the big lead. But also, I think that's who they are. They played 10 guys. It's not like this is a surprise. I mean, you know, a lot of the teams in tournament time, their benches get down to 7, 8 because, you know, that gives you the best chance to win. But the depth that Tech has, you can go 10 very, very easily.
Cade Erickson back in the game. Royce goes up strong. Couldn't get it to go. Lee is there. Count the basket and the foul. Jalen Lee.
Good offensive rebound. Good challenge at the rim, vertical by Rhett Reynolds. Forces Robinson to change directions, but just give him a big compliment how they limit the number of second chance points by not giving up offensive rebounds. They give up an offensive rebound and a foul.
Jalen Lee, 16 double-doubles this year, 9 times named the Frontier Conference Defensive Player of the Week. I'm not sure if that's a Frontier Conference record or not, but it's very impressive. And they keep the possession alive at the offensive board. Royce to the basket again and draws the foul. The only way Rocky was getting into the NAIA National Tournament is if they would have won this Frontier Conference tournament.
Which, the way they started the year, you would have thought that, you know, they would.
Well, they started 14-3.
Yeah, they've been a no-brainer, and it wasn't a necessarily easy schedule. I mean, they get off to a great start, and, you know, and it shows a little bit how tough the Frontier Conference is. You know, it's a grind. Just that, you know, playing good teams week in, week out, and kind of you got to be sharp. You have to have your best effort every single night.
16-point lead for the Diggers. 14 minutes left to be played in this semifinal game of the Frontier Conference Tournament at Four Seasons Arena in Great Falls. And Okeke back in the game. After that spectacular dunk that he had, Okeke is fouled. And 4 fouls on the Diggers, 4 now on Rocky. And Billy wants a timeout. A 16-point lead for Montana Tech here in the semis.
Time sure flies when you're having fun. Our lives are made up of working through the day-to-day, supporting the ones we love, and enjoying those special moments that make it all worthwhile. As Montanans, we are resilient, resourceful, and all about preserving our way of life that we are proud to say defines us. At Stockman Bank, our sole focus is serving the people of Montana. We are Montana's brand of banking. We are Stockman Bank.
At Benefice Orthopedic Center of Montana, we offer same-day appointments and advanced treatments to help get you back to rolling. A tradition of advanced care. Learn more at benefice.org.
Rocky Erickson, Brian Crosby, 13:50 here in the second half of our first semifinal game. If you just joined us in the women's games earlier, in the semis, it was Rocky over MSU Northern, 61-51, and Providence got by Carroll 59-55, despite 26 points in a losing effort from Willa Albrecht of Carroll College. She had a fantastic game, and that is the 9th time that Providence and Carroll have played combined the last 2 seasons. Reynolds is back in the game for Tech. Okeke lost the handle, and they keep it alive. 3-pointer not going to drop by Levi Torgerson. Royce holds up from 3. He's a competitor. He doesn't want to lose.
No, look now. It's 13. We talked about that. You know, inside that first media timeout, you can get into that 14 to 12 range. You have a chance. I think, you know, there's been a little bit of a lack of intensity by Tech. I mean, gave up a few offensive rebounds, a transition 3. Definitely things that would be concerning.
Well, they got it to as close as 12. Kate Erickson with the foul. Ura's going to come back in the lineup for the Diggers.
Pretty easy call here, Erickson. Just basically 2-hand shove, trying to grab the ball.
You know, I tried to get Rob Tesh, the official at halftime, to tell me, you know, why these games are so physical, why the refs call it the way they do, and he was being extremely politically correct. I think you must have some friends on the officiating side.
And I think these, you know, these are big, strong athletes. I mean, it's going to be physical, and I think they do a good job of making sure that it's not out of control.
Shot clock down to 1. And it's going to be a travel. Bake, who did not get it off in time, but he traveled before the attempt. So Rocky Mountain College trying to make a run here. They've been as close as a dozen. They're down 13. 12.5 left to be played here. The lead's been as much as 23. Jesse with a deep, deep 3. Jesse Owens. And that is just simply huge. Jesse's 4-3. Jesse's got 18 points in the game. And that is a 10-point game right now. 59-49 with 12:18 left. Boy, Pfeiffer with a great move on Lee, and that is number 4 on Lee.
Yeah, probably one he could have let him go if, you know, but just a nice baseline spin and gets in the air and has really no choice but to foul him.
And McCoy's going to come in for Lee, who just picked up his 4th. He had a flagrant foul in that first half. 12-12 left. Rocky has cut it to 10. And Pfeiffer at the free throw line here. A 74% free throw shooter on the season. McCoy comes in. Lee goes out. And you got to wonder, okay, mark this, 12-12. Lee picks up his 4th, and when will we see him back in this game, and what will the effect be? You know, he goes out, it's a 10-point game. Second shot is missed. McCoy on the rebound. Lee's the leading scorer and leading rebounder this season for Rocky. Jesse Owens all the way to the hole, and what's the call? There's no call. The ball just went out of bounds.
Yeah.
Jesse wanted a foul.
Asking for a deflection is the call. I mean, looks like it might have been blocked by here, but no, it just went out of bounds.
Bank looked like he was trapped in the corner, able to get out under 12 minutes left to be played in this semifinal game here in Great Falls at Four Seasons Arena. Bank lost his dribble. Pfeiffer's going to take it all the way in, tries to get by Cade Erickson. Back out, your three-pointer, short. And Royce Robinson and Jesse Owens have kept Rocky in this game. Royce to Jesse. 11.5 left. You hear the stomping from Billy across the way. It's an 11-point game. They scored here. It'll be the closest we've had it since early on. Remember, Tech led 20-2 to start this game. You know, Steve Keller, when he was the head coach, was very animated, and he never gets off the bench over there.
Yeah, he's the calming influence, which is a good change for him.
We got a timeout, 11-point game, 11:22 left to be played in the first semifinal game of the night. I'd like to thank our scoreboard sponsor, Opportunity Bank, a Montana-born full-service community bank with locations throughout the state, offering a range of banking, lending, mortgage, and agriculture banking services for over 100 years. They've been a Montana community financial institution committed to providing strong financial futures for Montanans. Opportunity Bank, member FDIC. 11:22 left. 11-point lead during the season. Rocky won 2 of the 3 games. Nesbitt had 19 back on January 4th in Billings when Rocky won 63-55. Tech shot 56% January 25th in Butte when they won. And then Royce went off for 22 the last time they met February 13th when Rocky came out on top.
Yeah, and that was an interesting game because Tech was definitely shorthanded. And you know, I think that from that game, they learned a few things. One, you know, inserting Peffer into the lineup's been a huge advantage for them. It's created some really unique matchups, and they do as good a job as anybody, Tech does, of finding those matchups. And defensively, they are one of the best defensive teams in the country. You know, you look at their net rating, their total net adjusted, it's top 10. I mean, it's no surprise they're ranked as high as they are and where they are. They, you know, and it's a job that Adam High and his staff has done year after year.
Win or lose this tournament, Montana Tech will go to the postseason. Cade Erickson with a 3-point shot. McCoy tried to get the rebound, but Royce is there, lost it. Spencer comes up with a loose ball. He's double teamed. And Spencer is fouled, I believe, before the shot attempt. I'm not sure.
But again, that's the second chance opportunities that Rocky continues to get because they will not quit. They will keep going. And I think you nailed hit the nail on the head. Royce Robinson, you know, his effort has been outstanding. He's a winner. You know, there's no quit in him, and he's going to keep battling.
Royce with 15, Jesse with 14. Jesse Owens has not missed a 3-point shot in this game. He's 4 for 4.
Yeah, and I probably should give credit to that conversation this morning. That was with a couple of the CMR coaches, John Sissel and Greg Dart, and they just said basically how valuable he was.
McCoy with a big steal. Cade Erickson back out to Jesse. The lead is 9. 11 minutes left. Boy, it would be astronomical if Rocky actually came back and won this game. Royce. OKK crashes the boards, but Rocky comes up with it, and Jesse now 4 of 5 on threes. Another offensive rebound. Cade Erickson gets it back out to Jesse, and there's a whistle before the shot.
Oh, we got an offensive foul.
Boy, the opportunities that the Bears have had here.
Looked like when KK was trying to basically close out on that, he got hooked by McCoy. So that's where that foul came from.
Long possession. for Rocky. Full court pressure put on. OKK at 6'7" is going to bring it up. And the Tech lead has shrunk to 9 with the midway mark of the half here. Nice looking drive by Decons, couldn't get the finish. And Royce Robinson back up the other way. Royce against Shear, now he's going to be double teamed with OKK. Puts it up and in. Wow, what a play. We have a 7-point game, Brian.
Yeah, and we thought it was danger time when Lee went out, but since that point, it's been a little bit of an advantage, at least with the energy level from Rocky.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Bake's not going to get rid of it. Rebound, Kate Erickson. Rocky's got numbers. Royce will lead the break. Royce will hold up with the 3. It's short. And a rebound, Bake. Royce is feeling it. I mean, he's extremely confident right now.
I don't hate that shot at all. I mean, it's a transition 3. You have a better chance of getting an offensive rebound in those moments. I think the biggest thing with this little comeback has been their defensive effort, their defensive intensity.
Bake trying to get free again. Shot clock down to 6. OKK looking inside to Ure, and Jesse's trying to defend him. But remember, I mean, Jesse's 5'9".
Yeah.
Trying to guard somebody 6'7". I mean, Jesse's athletic, but come on.
He did the best he could. It's like basically, they talk about a cylinder, and he definitely invaded your cylinder. And that's the thing. It's like they got that in the matchup, and when you're switching, you run into those issues, and that's something that Rocky likes to do, is like to switch almost everything.
Rocky has outscored Tech 27-13 here in the second half. Ure gets that first free throw to go. How many times have we said this week? I mean, you're never really out of it in the Frontier Conference, especially with the three-point shot.
And that was about a 3-minute drought that Tech had. And, need a couple of, I think for them, stops are the key. Just kind of kill the momentum of Rocky.
Jesse, great pass to Royce.
Just textbook, middle drive, your corner baseline cut, that's easy, an easy look. The help always is out of position. Jesse full steam, you gotta worry about him, and that leads to an easy look from.
OKK lost it, and the foul's going to go against Rocky. Royce Robinson with 19 points. He had 22 the last time these two teams met. And that was a Rocky win. Both teams were in the bonus. That's a 9th foul on Rocky.
Yeah.
Diggers with 6. OKK is back at the free throw line here.
That was a reach on McCoy. It wasn't necessarily the primary defender. It's what they called the foul on.
OKK's got 12 points in the game. 12 for Ure and 13. Fight for the free throw is missed. Here comes Spencer. Rocky has cut it to 6. They were down by as many as 23 in this game. Spencer all the way in, OKK with a block, but there's a foul.
Yeah. Same thing that happened down here. Bake reaches in the same way that McCoy reached in, so they're consistent with the call, and that's all you can ask.
We're in a timeout. 8 minutes and 30 seconds left to be played in the game, and it's tight. 61-55, our score. The Diggers trying to pull off something that's never been done before. Win 4 Frontier Conference tournaments in a row. Their win-loss record the last 4 years, 105 wins, just 23 losses. A winning percentage of 82%. And you work with Adam Hyatt. He's one of the best interviews I've ever had in my life. When we did the Frontier Conference Media Day, he's the most prepared coach. You talked about his practices, and you got to wonder, I mean, will he step up and coach at the next level?
He seems happy. I mean, he had a long, successful career at Westminster. I think, some guys just love this level. I mean, you look at the Frontier Conference. I mean, how long Bill's been in Rocky, how long that, Steve was at Western and Providence, and, Hughes. I mean, you can just list all of the Frontier coaches it seems like a league that keeps guys, and I think that's,
not just average.
Yeah, and happiness is, happiness is happiness. I mean, I think sometimes people chase things that aren't necessarily what you want to chase, whether it's money or prestige or things like that. Coaching basketball is great whether you're coaching a fifth grade Y team or you're coaching a Division I team. And Adam Hyatt's as good a coach as anybody in the country, and I mean that. He is as good a coach as anybody in the country because his track record proves that.
Well, I'm happy to be here with Brian Crosby. Spencer gets that one to go. Got to stay awake, people. It's a great game.
Yeah, the Providence fans are going to have to hit the Mountain Dew.
Okay, that's going to be, oh, wow. 8.5 to go. 5-point game. Full court pressure again by Rocky. And OKK takes a timeout here.
Hey, get off your citrus. Show off. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Mountain Dew.
Up.
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 Yeah!
Up.
Up. Up is where we are headed at the University of Providence.
Up with learning.
Up with opportunities.
Up with community.
Up, where we are guided by our faith.
Up with excellence.
With faith guiding your way, it is all up from here. Are you ready to rise up? The University of Providence, connecting people with their potential.
I try to, stand for something. I try to stand for positivity. I try to stand for, health. I see the impact of vaping, amongst our communities as, a total negative thing. I would say to adults, set the example, set the example, learn to communicate, with the young people and your own children. And so we always share with the young people is that you got to find your own strength. You guys are role models, you guys are leaders, and that's what we need in our communities.
Defense by Spencer. 5-point game. Rocky has never quit. Bake had a great start tonight. They're going to double up on Year. Bake goes over the top of Spencer. How big was that?
That was monumental. He never got rushed on that possession, understood time and score.
Cade Erickson, Class C. Broadview with a big three. Keeps it at a 5-point game.
It's a huge answer. The thing about this run that Rocky has gone on, they've done it without Lee sitting on the bench with 4 fouls.
Well, you were the one that wanted to mark it, and the time and the score, and things have improved for Rocky since then.
They have, for sure, and I think that's I think the one thing going with this kind of smaller lineups allowed them to pressure Tech. That with Lee they don't really do that, and forced a couple of that's a tough shot.
And they took it all the way down to the shot clock. Royce Robinson wants to take it all the way in. Royce in trouble, no problem. 21 points in the game for Mr. Lewistown. Royce Robinson.
And Peffer thought he got hooked, but he reached. He tried to swipe it from behind.
Coast to coast, layup, decons. Robinson came into the tournament averaging 10. He's double his average. Here in the semifinals, it's a 5-point game with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left to be played. Here in the semis, Royce again. And that could go either way. They're going to show the block. Royce is just feeling it. He's so confident right now.
Yeah, he is. And Deacon's on the other end, saw the matchup he wanted and went right to the rim. But the transition and must have been inside the restricted area for that to. It felt like people were set, but that Marshawn just looks like he was a little bit out of position.
Royce Robinson at the free throw line here. 6.5 to go. 21 points in the game. 2 for 3 from the free throw line. He's hit 3 threes. You know, he wants the ball in his hands in the second half of this big game.
Well, and you know, you look at the roster and you want to look at winners. And you know, he's a kid like you mentioned. He's a football state champ. He's a 2-time basketball state champ. Huge part of what they did.
Offensive rebound off the missed free throw. A 3 here, and believe it or not, you'd have a 1-point game. Who would have thought when they were down by 23 in that first half? Kate Erickson to the baseline. Spencer. McCoy. Spencer, shot clock. The defense from both sides, I mean, they're not trying to take the clock down. It's just they can't get an open shot because the defense is so good.
Yeah, but
there's Adam Hyatt.
The number of offensive rebounds has to be troubling for Tech. I mean, the fact that they're basically just keeps getting extra possession after extra possession.
And Rocky with 12 offensive rebounds in the game, 5 for Montana Tech. Okeke gonna swing it back out to Bake. 5:50 left. Hype with a drive. That was huge. And the foul. That was a big-time play. And he's got 15 to lead his team. He came into the tournament averaging just 4.3. Doesn't that happen so much, though?
Yeah.
In postseason play, somebody who might not be the leading scorer is going to come up big.
Yeah,
and we've seen that twice, and both are number 33.
And that drive was the product of just great spacing. We call that, that's basically a double gap. It's like driving on an interstate highway. He went from just like, having a difficult time, went back to his left. There was no help and was able to get all the way to the rim.
Royce on the rebound.
Yeah, and Tech keeps missing free throws and giving up offensive rebounds. And, it's probably a good thing they had such a huge lead, or else they definitely would be down.
Royce Robinson to be a little for Royce. I think
Okeke with an unbelievable dunk. I mean, just that's what they need, that transition. The defense leading to offense is definitely going to help them.
8-point game. I lost my box and we're still on the air. Fall-away jumper's not going to land. They fight for the rebound. Who gets it? And it's going to be Tech basketball.
Just a little bit
5
of a
minutes
change,
and 9 seconds left to be played in this one. Eight-point lead for Montana Tech here. And there's Okeke. I think that's a dunk where he got hurt and got cramped up as he held onto the rim a little extra long.
Well, I would say in the last minute and a half, for whatever reason, Tech's defensive intensity is ratcheted back up to the way it was when they started the game. I think you have lulls. You get a big lead. You forget that these are still young men, some teenagers, and they're going to definitely have some, some growing pains and things like that. But, Tech, the thing that's interesting is when they went on that run, Tech coaching staff, especially Adam Hyatt, never got frustrated, never got mad. I mean, they were, some coaching points and some teaching points you can do, but, just the effort, and I think a little bit of the flip side of that is the amount of energy that the Rocky Mountain College has had to expend to get back into the game. Do they have enough in the last 5 minutes to maintain?
It was a 22-point lead at halftime. It was Tech 48 and Rocky 26. And now it's crunch time, 5:09 left. Rocky with 10 fouls and the Diggers with 8 here. Rocky Erickson with Brian Crosby. They have full court press this entire second half. Decons will bring it up. Boy, in the women's game, we've seen so few players play in the semis. Only 7 and 8 players played. Right from the drive, gives it up late. OKK works against Lee, who's in the game with 4 fouls. He was very tentative there.
He was, and that was a great set out of the timeout. Knew exactly what they wanted to get, had the matchup they wanted. Basically, it was Peffer.
And Royce gets his shot blocked. Cade Erickson got a big rebound, and Cade's going to draw the foul. Cade's played some nice minutes in this game.
And that's a tough one. I mean, Erickson can see the ball, Ure can't. Lands in his hands and ends up with a foul. But I've had friends text me like they didn't realize how entertaining Coach Strykosen was, or is, I should say.
Boy, free throws are huge down the stretch here. 4:40 left.
Nice minutes from Cade Erickson. Did not play last night's game at all. Today's provided a real spark.
And Rocky may get that. They will. Well, they cut it to 5 or 6, and then all of a sudden went back to 10. Now it's 9. 4.5 to go.
Another offensive rebound. I mean, even though it's not an offensive rebound, that was a.
They keep the possession alive.
Yeah, there's no pressure. KK like tries to tip it instead of getting a rebound.
Finally on the inbounds here. Jesse to Cade. Redshirt freshman. Erickson gets it out to Nesbitt. Nesbitt tries to drive. Jesse, but he's hit some big threes in the game. Shot clock down to 3. Oh, wow. And Jesse Owens, he's got 14. Royce Robinson with 22. It's a 7-point game for Tech with 4 minutes and 4 seconds to be played. You win, you advance to the Frontier Conference Championship game tomorrow night. Royce Robinson on bake. Looking down low, there's OKK. Back out wide open, D-Cons with a 3. That was huge.
A big 3 from a guy that doesn't shoot a lot of threes.
He only had 13 all year coming into the tournament. And the lead is back to 10. Every possession is big here. Down low to Lee. Lee lost it. Loose ball. Tied up. No whistle yet. And finally a jump is called. Possession will stay with Rocky. McCoy and Spencer will come in. Boy, that was a big 3 for D-Cons.
Yeah, and that last play, just a bunch of guys bent over the waist, not trying to get the ball, but D-Cons, like you say, not a volume 3-point shooter. Knocks down a huge one that gets the lead back to double digits, but that was the situation in that last play where Royce Robinson dives on the ball. Other guys are just bending over. It's like he's going to get the ball.
The lead's back to 10. Jesse working hard. Spencer. That was a low pass. Spencer unable to bring it in.
Yeah, not a great pass, but defensively Tech, they make everything so difficult. You have to almost have a perfect possession when they play defense this way.
Well, Tech has cooled off a bit. They're only shooting 60% here. D-Cons, OKK. And they will take some time off the clock now. Keely Blake, 10-point lead. Diggers. Bake picked up by Erickson.
That's so. I mean, it's just from a basketball standpoint, they get the switch. They have, Jesse on okay, just a little bit impatient. If he just takes a second longer, throws a little bit better pass, then that's an easy one.
Royce forced it, but he drew the foul. And Royce Robinson to the free throw line here. 22 big points for Royce, 8 rebounds in the game.
And looking ahead with Rocky, they've got some nice pieces that are young. Robinson, Jordan, just some guys that are going to definitely, and obviously they get Jalen Lee back next year too. The thing I think though, from Rocky's standpoint, I don't know how you replace Jesse Owens. I mean, that's I mean, he's
the floor general.
He's just, you know, plus minus is such an interesting stat. I think if you look at his plus minus for the entire year, it's got to be, you know, off the charts, because when he's on the floor, good things happen. And when he's not on the floor, nothing good happens.
Rocky will pick him up man-to-man, full court, 2.5 to go. Every possession is big. The Tech lead is 8. Rocky won 2 of the 3 meetings during the season. Decons will drive against McCoy. McCoy on the rebound. Royce will bring it down. Jesse. 2 minutes, 5 seconds. Semifinals, Frontier Conference Tournament. Jesse Owens. Down low, gets it out to Spencer. Shot clock down to 6. Spencer turns and fires, and that was huge. We got a 6-point game. Does that count?
Yeah, it counts to be a dead ball foul on the rebound. Looks like you got pushed to the ground. Let's see if you can see it on the replay here on the box out. Oh, yeah. Erickson picks up the foul and they walk the other end. But, you know, from not the worst foul in the world if you're Rocky, depending on the result of these free throws. Plus, no time goes off the clock, which is huge.
Year 4 of 6 has 12 points in the game. 5 players for Tech have scored in double figures in this game. Rocky put 5 players in double figures in their 88-86 win against Montana Western in the quarterfinals yesterday. Big free throws. Muir gets them both. Tech back up by 8, under 2 minutes left to be played in the semifinals here. Jesse gets free. Jesse Owens with 18. Rocky hanging around, trying to make a late run here, but the time, you got 94 seconds left to be played of the game, and there's a foul by Spencer. And Pfeiffer's been huge. He's 1 for 3 from the line. He's got 15. Okeke, that's kind of a quiet 16 for Okeke. He's 7 of 9 from the field in the game.
Yeah, a couple dunks, that makes that
high percentage shot.
Yeah, it's definitely high percentage shots. You know, 74% free throw shooter on the year. It's a guy that you kind of want in this situation, but, you know, if you've missed a couple during the game, that kind of gets in your head a little bit.
6-point game. 90 seconds left to be played here. Jesse gives it up. McCoy back out. Royce with the 3. They keep the possession alive. Another offensive rebound. Spencer from the corner. Not close. Rebound Bake. 70 seconds left to be played. A 7-point game. And it's a double bonus both ways, but Rocky's going to be forced to foul here. Or will they with 20 seconds on the shot clock?
They're going to play out this possession. You're still within striking range. You don't want to like extend this to like a 3-possession game. Right now you're a 4-possession game. You're sitting in a 3-possession game.
Year turns and fires. Boy, that's big.
Yeah, that's a huge bucket right there.
9-point lead. Jesse goes up strong. And very likely this could be the last game for Jesse Owens. What a remarkable career he has had. And Jesse Owens with 20 points in this contest. College football with the Grizz, basketball with the Bobcats, and wrapped up his athletic career at Rocky Mountain College. 38 seconds left to be played. 7-point game.
You know, and
when you're only 5'9", you got to go high on the glass when you go up with the big guys. And watch this.
And that's such a hard finish. He goes off wrong foot, you know, basically off his right foot, jumping, throwing a nice lazy hook off the glass. But you know, he never gets out of control. And he's been that way since high school, frankly. I mean, he's just, you know, he's one of my favorite players that I've watched over the years, having a chance to watch him in high school and then, you know, Rocky last couple of years. And I think that it's been interesting him paired with someone like Jalen Lee, a big that can do some different things, and it allows him to get downhill and create for his teammates. And you're right. If this is the end of his career, it's going to be a big loss for Rocky.
Just a great all-around young man with a wonderful, wonderful family as well. 38 seconds left to go in this one. High-scoring game. At the half, it was Tech up 48-26. And Rocky's come a long way from only scoring 26 points in the first 20 minutes of this college basketball game. Well, stranger things have happened with 38 seconds left.
Yeah. Obviously, if you're Rocky, it's steal first, foul second, quickly as you can.
Decons. High for double team. Back to Decons. Now you got a foul. 31 seconds left. And timeout. You're in the game is 6 of 8. Was there a foul?
No, they called a timeout on that one. It was basically, I think you're called it. Craig Sear pointed right at him, so probably felt he was in no man's land, and he actually was in the worst place you can possibly be, which was just over the half-court line, trap, basically you're walled in.
Now, I've never announced a 9 o'clock college game. I've done some high school basketball tournaments that started at 9 that were supposed to start at 8. And I was telling Marty earlier today, during COVID, we did a Grizzly Eastern Washington basketball game with no fans, and it was a 9 o'clock game.
Yeah.
9 o'clock in the morning with no fans, and boy, those gyms were quiet.
Yeah, that was a weird time for sure. When we've had a state tournament here one year where we played the late game, and one of the advantages of being in your home city was that we could sit over at CMR, and we had someone sitting here, and they say, okay, the game before us ended, then when we came over. Because it's tough. I mean, these Rocky these Providence and Carroll players have been sitting here for a long time. Some of them came and watched the women's game earlier today. It's a long day. You try to break it up. You have dinner. You have shooting around. You watch some film. Guys take naps. It's tough. I mean, a 9 o'clock start is definitely unique for a lot of these guys, but not, as veterans of Montana state tournaments, it happens quite often.
31 seconds to go. Ordiggers and Rocky are out of timeouts now. Spencer with the foul, and it comes down to free throws. Rockies made a gallant effort after they dug themselves such a huge hole. Tech led 20-2 to start this game.
Yeah. Well, and that's just the thing. I mean, you dig yourself a hole like that, it's very, very difficult to get out of it, no matter what kind of run you go through, and no matter how hard you play. But a heck of an effort to get back into it.
9-point game. Jesse will bring it up. 24 ticks to go in this one. And they're picking everybody up way outside. Jesse again. That one's not going to drop. Here on the block. And they're not calling the foul. 13 seconds left to be played, and that'll do it. Final score is going to be 82-73. And the Diggers of Montana Tech have advanced to the Frontier Conference Championship game. And Jesse Owens giving Keely Blake a hug. That's great to see. Be back with a post game right after this.
Make your family's time on the water extraordinary in a Mastercraft wake boat from Pierce RV and Marine. Mastercraft's award-winning boats are built with best-in-class materials for proven durability. Whether you're wakeboarding, wake surfing, water skiing, or tubing, there's something for everyone. Choose from the flagship X-Star family to the X-Series, XT, and sleek NXT models. This season, experience world-class performance and endless fun with a Mastercraft wake boat from Pierce RV and Marine in Billings.
Cascade Electric. Cascade Electric is an experienced, proven, and highly rated electrical contracting company. Cascade Electric is here for all your home, commercial, and industrial electrical needs. They have been troubleshooting since 1917 and more than willing to do the job you need. Small or large, Cascade Electric can take care of you time and time again. Make sure you take time to visit Cascade Electric. Visit Cascade Electric today.
This season, score big with one of our many cars under $30,000. Talk about winning plays. Our financing team is here to help you with affordable options. We offer payments under $500, and that means more money for your fantasy football bets. With our certified pre-owned lineup, every car is thoroughly inspected, so you can drive with confidence. That means getting to the game without worry.
Just over the hill from high prices, Buskin Motor Company.
Well, a 22-point lead for Montana Tech at halftime, 48-26. They started the game with an unbelievable run. They led 20-2, and you know what? Rocky never gave up in the contest, and Royce Robinson and Jesse Owens put it on their shoulders. Gallant effort, but they came up short. Well-rounded game for Tech. They had 5 players in double figures.
Yeah, you look at the box, 14, 12, 18, 16, 16. That's how you win games. I mean, and their defensive effort. They had some lulls there, and obviously I think some things that as a coach you can go in and you can talk about with, you know, too many offensive rebounds given up, too many free throws missed, things that you have to shore up tomorrow night if you're going to win a championship.
They shot 60% from the field. Yeah. Let's go to our player of the game, OKK.
Yeah.
16 points. He had 6 rebounds and 7 assists. OKK filled up the stat sheet in this game. He's so incredibly athletic.
Yeah, and you know, and I think where he's at his best is when they're in transition. When they're in transition, and basically he has the ability to, you know, to run free as he did there. And you know, he's a unique athlete because he is so athletic. He seems slender. He seems a little undersized for his position, but his athletic ability gives him a huge opportunity.
Our play of the game. Rocky also had 15 offensive rebounds in the contest. And OKK with a great pass and yet another dunk.
Yeah, Pfeffer had a huge game. You know, I think that
he led the team with he had 16 points.
And he's a guy that wasn't starting, wasn't really getting a ton of minutes early in the year. So, I mean, that's a thing about this time of year. Some guys have to step up.
Rocky had a great start this season. They finished 19-11. Who knows? They might get an opportunity.
Yeah.
The national tournament.
Look at their RPI and see where they are. I mean, it's disappointing though. I mean, that's a team that has a lot of talent, and it's obviously not the way they wanted to end.
82-73, Montana Tech has advanced to the Frontier Conference Championship game.
Montana, a place of rugged beauty, hardworking people, and endless opportunities. And for over 100 years, Opportunity Bank has been here. As a Montana bank with a legacy of stability and service, we understand what it takes to build a future in this place you call home. So if you're looking for a bank that's as Montana as you are, come to Opportunity Bank of Montana. Of Montana, by Montanans since 1922. Member FDIC.
1, 2, 3, go!
We follow pizza drivers and make sure their customers get a Pepsi.
Is that legal?
It's a gray area.
That's the perfect combo.
Hey, get off your... Show off. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Mountain Dew.
Well, the magical run for the Orediggers continues. They won the regular season Frontier Conference title. First time somebody has won 4 years in a row. In 52 years, no team has ever won the Frontier Conference tournament 4 years in a row. If they win tomorrow night, they accomplish another first.
Play like they played in the first half. I like their chances. I think it'll be very interesting. Like we talked about yesterday, that first matchup, two very like teams. This matchup we're going to watch here in a few minutes, very like teams. I think both of them can give give Tech some fits.
for Brian Crosby. Rocky Erickson. Tech wins 82-73. The late game at 9 o'clock. We'll see you then.
Jason, Chad, looks like you guys have been hitting the trails pretty hard today.
Heck yeah, I just went four-wheeling. And now I gotta have the same tires as him.
We've got the perfect set of Coopers for you.
Now through April 30th, save up to $75 on a set of qualifying Cooper tires, including the Discoverer STT Pro, Rugged Trek, and AT3 family, as well as the Cooper Xeon, Endeavor, Endeavor Plus, and CS5 family. Visit your neighborhood Tire-Ama or TireAma.com for more details.